Let's get to this story because we're starting to hear more and more of this from small business owners. Our next guest, John, pronounce your last name for me. Do you say INSOGNA or INSOGNA?
INSOGNA.
INSOGNA. So you're a chef, manager, co-owner of Trattoria La Villetta, which is in the Saint-Laurent borough. You're speaking out, and we've heard this from others. Natasha and I talked to someone not that long ago, basically facing the same kind of a problem. This is the CEBA loan from the government, the Canada Emergency Business Account, which gave you money. So I guess originally, conceivably, to get you through the tough times in the pandemic when businesses were hurting, especially restaurants. Now the time has come by the end of this year to pay that money back. What's the situation you find yourself in?
We don't know where to find that money. You have to understand that money was given to us like a lifeline to be able to continue functioning during the pandemic. And now I don't know with our sales to throw in a $60,000 loan on top of what we're making. I don't see how that's feasible.
Okay, but now people will say, well, wait a sec, it was a loan. You knew you would have to pay it back at some point, and the deadline originally was December of 2022. It's an extra year, December of 2023. You still find yourself unable to pay it back at all, or in total, or what?
See, that's the thing. So, I mean, at any point in time, if you tell somebody, you're going to close down, but we'll give you $60,000 to stay afloat, you're going to take that 60 and then deal with the consequences later. But that being said, it's due to the pandemic. So now, people are just trying to make it back, but the sales, and now due to inflation, I mean, we are busier, but everything costs more. So, it's just, I just don't see. And then the other option is that now they're saying that if you don't pay back the 20 to get some, like a discount on that loan, you have a deadline. So then I wouldn't be saving the $20,000. Now you're putting pressure on me to come up with $40,000. It's not a small amount of money. I just think the government should reassess the whole thing.
So just to be clear on that point, John, it's a $60,000 loan. The government is willing to forgive $20,000 of it if you can repay the 40 by the deadline. Do I have that right?
Exactly. So now I have to come up with $40,000, and that's tough. Or they're actually suggesting that you borrow it. So I'm borrowing. Then I'd be personally liable if I go and get a loan for it, rather than being on the corporation. So then that makes things a lot more tricky. I don't know how many people are going to be willing to do that.
I would ask the question, though, John, and again, I'm just trying to, because I'm hearing from both sides on this. You take out $60,000, as Natasha said, $20,000 is forgivable if you paid back on time. Have you not been able to pay back any of it? Because you don't have to pay it all back at once.
No, so the specifics weren't there to tell you. I mean, you could pay back any amount you wanted to. Not really. I mean, at the end of the day, I can't find, it's getting busier, but I could put something towards it, but it's such a large amount, like it wouldn't made a significant difference.
So my question is, I remember hearing that they had extended the deadline and they made it to, I think it's mid-January, January 18th, I believe,
of 2020. 2 extra weeks,
yeah,
right?
And so we thought initially maybe that was a mistake. They meant it to be 2025 instead of 2024. But then when I looked...
I thought the same.
Okay, yeah, right. But then when I looked into it, John, my understanding is that if you make a refinancing application with whomever you got your CEBA loan from in the financial institution that gave you that loan, that they will then delay it again until March 28th. Would March 28th be a more feasible date, or is that still just completely?
It's just not there. I just don't see it happening. And not for nothing, I heard statistics on this yesterday. Sorry, that 80% of the restaurants are around there haven't paid back anything. So that's a big number. And what are people going to do? You have the option to close down and open up again, and
right.
There goes the loan. So, and if I refinance with my bank, whichever bank it would be, number one, you'd have to get approved. Number two, like I said, it would then fall personal on you if it would not be paid back at that point.
I thought I saw an ad at you on TV the other day. There are companies already trying, I don't want to say take advantage, but trying to help people get through this who can't pay it all back by offering special loans designed to help you pay back the CEBA. Have you looked into that?
Oh, yeah. I saw a whole bunch of announcements on Facebook the other day. I actually called one of the companies based in Montreal.
Okay.
And they offered me, I think it was $38,000 to pay back 8 months, $48,700.
Wow. Oh, good grief.
Okay.
It's almost like a loan shark. It's just unbelievable. And that's why, you're putting our backs against the wall. Now I have to come up with 40 or I'm going to be in for 60. But I really don't see that, this is a debt that's just been it's just been laying on our backs. It's just a weight on our backs for this whole time. You know?
So you've had this place, you and your family have had Trattoria La Villetta for 33 years.
Yeah.
You must have a very loyal clientele.
Yes, we do.
What's going to happen, John? What's the reality here?
So that's it. So, I mean, obviously, I would start paying it back, I guess, in 2025 when it would come out, because the $40,000 is not going to happen. So when that time comes, then we would start paying back slowly and see exactly, because there's no terms. We don't even know how long of a loan, what's going to happen. I think it's 5% interest on it. So I'd have to get the specifics to see how that would work. But then it's cutting into our bread and butter, and you got to see, like, am I working 7 days a week without any staff here, going crazy to make nothing? Is it really worth it? Or do I just close down and open up another place? Because, and unfortunately, that's what everybody's going to do. If you're logically thinking about it, why would you have that on you when you can just close it down because you'd be in debt?
And walk away.
Exactly.
Have you talked to other restaurant owners?
Oh, yeah, they're furious. They're like, it's just like I said before, it was a lifeline. You're offering me this to keep me afloat. It's not like I used it to go buy, to go on vacation. This was just to keep us alive during COVID. And even after COVID, even after all the help that was given to us, the first 6 months were horrible until people really started going out.
Yeah.
And now you got inflation is a problem. So, that's another struggle. I'm making more money, but then the bills comes in and I got nothing left. So, I was paying $17 for 16 liters of oil. Now I'm paying $50, and on and on and on. It's ridiculous.
So you are not alone in this. 80% of restaurants in Quebec got these loans from the federal government. 2/3 have yet to make a single payment. We understand that, like a lot of restaurants are going to be in this exact situation, John.
For what it's worth, we had a guy on from the Canadian Federation or Quebec Federation of Independent Businesses. To your point, there are a lot of people who find themselves in this position, and I know they're working to try to get the government to say, okay, we'll extend it a little bit more.
Plan. I mean, what I was going to ask you there, John, is that are you feeling basically like you were given money, which was awesome? You needed it. It allowed you to keep the business going, but you weren't given any guidance as to what was then going to happen.
There's that, yes, but I mean, also, a lot of people were giving money that was to help for COVID, and they don't have to pay it back.
Well, not necessarily.
I don't want to pay it back.
Not necessarily true. A lot of those people are now the government is going after them to get some of the money back that they either shouldn't have gotten or should have paid back.
Right, and the government is willing to give
the ones that shouldn't have got it, I agree, but the ones that were given to help out, that's fine. And so, I say with a grain of salt, I'm not saying that I don't want to pay it back, but I need something reasonable. Like 15 would be reasonable.
You need them to give you a plan. Like we'll play, because this is the whole thing, is they are forgiving $20,000 of the $60,000 loan, but you need more of a payment plan. You need a guide to pay it back in a reasonable
John, have you talked to your MP?
No, I have not.
I
should.
You absolutely should, because you're not going to be the only one to do it. And I'd say, get together with other people in the same business who find themselves in the same situation and let your situation be known to them. And I think that's step one. And as I said, maybe just, hope that what we think might happen happens, and that the government realizes, there are still too many people who find themselves in a situation like this that can't afford to pay it back, because let's face it, we were all flying blind when this happened, right? We'd never been through something like this before. So the government maybe has to sit back and go, okay, we thought a year would be enough. Turns out it's not. Let's make it another year or 6 months or something.
And present a plan that makes sense for these businesses to
John,
stay
good luck.
afloat.
I appreciate it.
You bet. Take care.